Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and I am going to basically explain to you guys the one thing that has brought a lot of success to the assistants that I've created for my clients, as well as high-level enterprises that currently use a couple of my builds. Now, I will tell you this, right, just so you guys know where I come from and what's gotten me to this point. I have been working non-stop with voice AI for the past year or so. So I think it's the past year and a half already. So obviously no edits, no nothing on this video. Essentially, I mean, there is going to be some edits, but it is what it is. You guys will understand exactly where I'm at right now and what got me here. So the first thing is I worked at least 10 to 12 hours every single day non-stop for the past year on only voice AI. So essentially, I understand some things that can enhance the capabilities of voice AI to the max, right? One of these things, and I can guarantee you guys right now, one of these things is called memory. Now with memory, what does this do? There are so many use cases that you can use memory for that I can't even begin to explain. However, I will for you guys. So one of the ways that you guys can use memory is by being able to create your outbound calls. Let's say, for example, you have an outbound dialer, and this outbound dialer, right, this assistant is capable of dialing all these people. Now, essentially, right now, if you have an outbound dialer, more than likely you're using the same exact prompt every single time, and I don't blame you for it. That is the easy way out, essentially. Now, how do we change this? How do we enhance? How do we personalize your prompts so that way they're even better than what you currently have right now, and it's not just one singular path that you can take with each and every person? So let's make a scenario for you. Let's say you have created an outbound assistant that dials people multiple times throughout the week. Every single time that you dial this person, let's call it the user. The person that we're dialing, right, is the user. The person making the call is the assistant, the voice AI assistant. The voice AI assistant is going to be making a call, let's say, depending on your time lapse, right? Let's say every 2 days, right? Every 2 days, the user is going to receive a call from the assistant. Now, depending on how the call goes, the assistant is capable of learning exactly what happened throughout the past call or multiple calls throughout the conversation history of the assistant with the user itself. So what does this mean? Let's say a normal employee calls somebody, right? And the first time that they call the person says, "Hey, I can't talk right now. I'm at a baseball game with my son, blah, blah, blah. I just can't at the moment." No worries. The employee will say, "No worries. It's completely fine. I'll go ahead and give you a call back tomorrow or 2 days from now," right? This employee is going to remake that call, and that call that he's going to remake, he will essentially say something along the lines of, "Hey, I hope that the baseball game went well with your son. Hopefully I caught you at a good time this time. Are you able to chat?" This is way better than starting off with the same exact prompt, same exact custom greeting every single time. And not to mention that on top of this, memory, which is basically feeding the transcript of the past call to the assistant so the assistant can learn what happened throughout the past call and make this current call personalized. That is memory. That is what memory does. Okay, so note that down. That is very important. We feed the transcript over, and once we feed the transcript over, we teach the assistant how to use the transcript inside of the current prompt to make the prompt more powerful. That is basically how you go about building memory for your assistants. So I'm going to teach you guys ways to use it. So first off, right, with the AI employee the AI assistant that I just gave you, this example that I made with an actual employee, obviously the employee is going to be capable of understanding everything that happened throughout the past call or throughout multiple calls, right? So essentially you will be able to feed this into your AI assistant so that way it is more personalized and more engaging on every single call. "Hey, I remember last time that we talked about this. Are you still good to move forward with this?" This way it's not just a simple script that goes over the same process every single time. Remember, guys, we're trying to make these guys as humanized as possible. We're not trying to replace humans, but we are trying to enhance the workload that we have and obviously the mundane tasks that nobody else wants to do. All right, so now how do we enhance this further? How do we go a step further than this, right? So here's what I think and what I've built out obviously in the past, and here's how I think we can make it even better. Essentially, right now we would be feeding call transcripts to the assistant. However, what if we feed more than this? What What if we feed email transcripts? What if we feed SMS transcripts? What if we just give it a whole background of the person that you are calling? LinkedIn descriptions, LinkedIn URLs, obviously emails and all that stuff. We're going to feed this assistant essentially everything about the person that we're calling before we call them. This way, you're capable of enhancing the call and personalizing it to the max, to the point where you'll basically have the assistant know everything about the person that you're calling, where they work, how to, their interests, anything. And this way, you can essentially enhance your game with a voice AI entirely. So how will you go about doing this? How will you be able to accomplish this feat? Obviously, I do have a computer in front of me. However, I'm just going to tell you because I understand an easier way. I've learned that throughout my past videos, I've been showing you guys exactly how to do it. However, I'm doing that now inside of my community instead of in these videos because it's easier to understand the concept of what we're trying to build, and then I send you guys to my community so you can learn how to build. That is the sense of these videos. So how do we build it in the simplified version, right, that I can explain to you guys right now? The way that you build this is by sending variables, right, the curly brackets inside of Synthflow, and you're going to use those curly brackets sent either from Make, N8N, GoHighLevel, whatever you choose. As long as you guys are able to send those variables with the email transcript, the call transcript, the LinkedIn description, whatever they like, all of that, using the key and value variables inside that you're trying, obviously, that connect over to the Synthflow assistant. That is what is going to feed it into the assistant to be able to learn everything from there. Okay, so it's relatively simple. Obviously, the hard part comes with the prompting. Feeding in the variables is the easy part. You can do that day and night. I believe in you guys. You guys can probably do that. It's relatively simple. If not, ask me a question throughout the community, right? No problem. I can go ahead and answer it for you guys. However, the hard part is the prompting. You need to have an understanding of how to prompt these assistants and make them capable of realizing that, okay, this isn't the current conversation that's happening. This is the conversation that happened before. And this is the information of the user that we're calling right now. This is how I can make the call more personalized. All of these things you're going to include inside of the prompt itself. So that way you can further enhance, right, the memory of the assistant. So with that being said, hopefully this video helps you guys out. And I will say that once you implement this to your assistants, you're going to make this 10 times better for yourself. And one last gold nugget before you guys leave. Imagine the capabilities of being able to answer an inbound call and knowing everything about the person as soon as they call. Insane, right? So that being said, join up in the community, guys. I will teach you guys how to be able to build this. And obviously I will take you guys step by step in my own personal academy that you guys can see right here. Okay, I will see you guys soon, and let's keep making these voice AIs. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.